William, an exceptionally talented surgeon, has gained widespread recognition for his remarkable success in separating conjoined twins. He is his wife, and together, they share a strong bond with their charming son, Jay. On this particular evening, he overheard a woman in the crowd, and when their eyes met, she seemed just as intrigued by him. Before long, their paths crossed at the liquor cabinet. Anna, evidently drawn to William's mature demeanor, couldn't look away. As they gazed at each other, William casually lifted an olive to Anna's lips. The gesture sent a thrill through her, but with so many people around, she restrained herself and quickly exited the pub. William, however, lost in an unexplainable fantasy, so much so that he didn't even notice Ingrid approaching. Meanwhile, Anna's thoughts were consumed by the encounter. She lingered nearby, discreetly watching William until he eventually left with his wife. Anna cautiously returned home, where it was revealed that she was actually the girlfriend of Jay, William's son. The next day, Jay was overjoyed to introduce Anna to his parents. Though William and Anna had already encountered each other at the party, they skillfully pretended to be strangers meeting for the first time. Later, as William cleaned dishes in the kitchen, their fingers unintentionally brushed against each other. It was a silent exchange, conveying emotions neither of them dared to express aloud. That night, Ingrid had intimacy, but for the first time, William, who had never turned her down, seemed uncharacteristically drained. The following day, while at work, William received an unexpected call from Anna. She only mentioned a time and location, but even without many words exchanged, William found himself unable to focus for the rest of the day. The fear of missing his meeting with her consumed his thoughts. As soon as his surgery concluded, he rushed to the designated place. The moment they saw each other, they embraced passionately, as if they had been apart for an eternity, bringing vibrancy into his otherwise colorless existence. Now, William eagerly awaited her messages, but this time, the text he received was from Jay, requesting to talk. The sudden message left William slightly uneasy. He wasn't sure what his son wanted. To his relief, Jay merely wanted reassurance that Ingrid approved of Anna. He had no idea that his father had already claimed Anna as his own. William found himself unable to resist Anna. Her own terms, Anna had to impose strict rules. Any violation, and she would cut ties immediately. And so, William fell completely under her control. One evening, while socializing with his father-in-law, William's phone buzzed with a text from Anna. Without hesitation, he abandoned the event and rushed to her apartment. Just as he reached the door, another message arrived. Anna was canceling their meeting. Unwilling to accept it, William knocked anyway. But when the door opened, a stranger stood before him. Flustered, he quickly introduced himself as Anna's friend. Fortunately, at that moment, Anna appeared, rescuing him from the awkward situation. She explained that plans had suddenly changed and their meeting would need to be postponed before shutting the door in his face. The more enigmatic and dominant Anna became, the deeper William's obsession grew. His mind was constantly preoccupied, and even Ingrid started noticing his odd behavior. Though Ingrid suspected William was involved with someone else, he dismissed her concerns, claiming work was keeping him busy. But despite his denial, he was already in far too deep. William craved Anna entirely for himself. When he discovered that Jay had taken her on a trip to Paris, he devised an excuse about a medical conference in Brussels and secretly flew to France. From a distance, he watched their hotel, monitoring their every move late into the night. Eventually, unable to restrain himself any longer, William called Anna's hotel room. When she picked up, she lied to Jay about needing fresh air and left to meet William in secret. Upon seeing him, Anna was furious, chastising him for breaking their rules. Yet despite the anger, their words, Anna issued a firm warning. William was not to follow her again. Then, without another word, she walked away. The following day, Determined to distance herself from William, Anna left the hotel with Jay. Watching them depart with their luggage, William, desperate for some form of solace, quickly checked into the very room they had stayed in the night before. He lifted the sheets and clutched the pillow where Anna had slept, inhaling deeply. Her lingering scent consumed him, and in his overwhelming jealousy, he lost himself. Though he remained uneasy about his son potential, Anna assured him that Jay had given her permission to keep secrets. Curious, William pressed for more details, but Anna simply replied that sometimes silence itself is an expression of love. To prove that she loved William more, Anna shared a story from her past, one about her deceased brother. As a teenager, Anna's brother had been madly in love with her. But after she rejected his advances, his obsessive nature drove him to take his own life. Jay knew Anna had lost a brother, but he was unaware of the real circumstances behind his death. Seizing an opportunity, William discreetly tore out the page in Anna's journal where she had documented their affair before she could notice. Later that day, a mysterious text arrived from an unknown number, warning William not to do anything reckless. Suspicious, he immediately reached out to Anna, eager to tell her that someone had uncovered their secret. Before he could speak, Anna dropped a bombshell. If he wanted their affair to continue, he would have to accept her marriage to Jay. Though the thought tormented him, after a long silence, William ultimately agreed to Anna's demand. That evening, they formally announced their engagement at a dinner party. Meanwhile, William, overwhelmed with anguish, hurried to the restroom, unable to endure the moment. Anna discreetly followed him. She warned him that his impulsive trip to Paris must never happen again. If he overstepped once more, she would sever their relationship for good. If he wanted to remain in her life, he needed to learn to control himself. Just as Anna turned to leave, William finally mentioned the strange warning text. After reading the message, Anna confidently speculated who the sender might be. She then went straight to her best friend's house, the only person who knew about her past. Anna assumed the message had been a well-meaning warning from her friend. But to her surprise, her friend denied any involvement. While they puzzled over the identity of the sender, Jay unexpectedly arrived at the apartment. With no other option, Anna played it cool and left with Jay as though nothing had happened. Yet that night, her thoughts refused to let her rest. Even her meetings with William began to dwindle. Soon, the day of her engagement party arrived. Friends and family gathered to celebrate. However, the moment Anna's mother laid eyes on Jay, her expression darkened. He bore an uncanny resemblance to her late son, the same brother who had once been consumed by his forbidden love for Anna. As tension filled the air, Anna abruptly stepped in, silencing her mother before she could say anything further. At that moment, William's wife took the stage, gracefully thanking the distinguished guests for attending. She explained that the key to their love was trust, just as she and William had always been completely open with each other. Ingrid then raised a glass in a toast to Anna and Jay. But suddenly, William, overwhelmed by his emotions, crushed the glass in his hand, and Anna's mother saw the entire scene. While William was tending to his wound in the restroom, Anna's mother entered. She cautioned him to be more careful in the future. William, unsure how to respond, was saved from the awkward moment when Anna walked in at just the right time. Yet Anna's mother noticed the look in William's eyes as he gazed at Anna. It was not just any look, but one that seemed different. Anna quickly begged her mother to keep quiet about it. Clearly, Anna's mother knew her daughter all too well. She was deeply concerned about the potential for tragedy to strike again. With tears welling up in her eyes, Anna's mother appeared to be hiding something. Later that night, they found each other outside. Without saying much, morning, while William's daughter Sally and Anna were shopping for bridesmaid dresses, Anna stumbled upon a shocking revelation. It was Sally who had been sending William the warning messages. Sally had found the torn piece of paper from Anna's notebook in her father's clothes bag. Though the paper didn't directly mention their names, it detailed their intimate encounters, making Sally suspect that her father was being unfaithful. Fortunately, Anna quickly reassured Sally with her persuasive words, dispelling her doubts. With the immediate crisis averted, Anna and William continued their passionate affair without restraint. In fact, Anna even gave William a key to her apartment, enabling them to enjoy private rendezvous there. But as Jay was about to enter the wedding hall, he couldn't shake his frustration. He felt like Anna was hiding something from him. During his bachelor party, while everyone else was celebrating, Jay overheard something startling from his father. "Sometimes silence is a form of love." These words froze Jay in his tracks. Anna had once told him that to be with her, he had to accept her silence and not question her past. Stunned, Jay followed William absent-mindedly, his thoughts in turmoil. Without realizing it, Jay found himself standing in front of Anna's best friend's apartment. Inside, William and Anna were lost in their twisted, passionate love affair. As Jay stood at the door, he heard a familiar voice from inside, and his suspicions were confirmed. In disbelief, Jay impulsively broke down the door, only to be confronted by an image that shattered him. Anna and William, completely naked. Heartbroken, Jay instinctively stepped back, but in his shock, he lost his footing and tumbled over the railing. William rushed down the stairs, naked, and cradled his bleeding son in his arms, crying uncontrollably. In a state of shock, Anna silently walked away. Though William regretted his actions, it was too late to undo the damage. Soon after, news of William's scandal spread like wildfire. Ingrid, unable to accept what had transpired, was devastated. She blamed William for taking their son away from her. After bidding Jay a final farewell, she chose to separate from William. Yet, despite losing his son, he couldn't stop worrying about Anna. William even reached out to Anna's friends, despite the disapproval from others. All he was desperate to know was where Anna was at that moment. Meanwhile, Anna remained quietly at her mother's house. Though she appeared a bit disheveled, Jay's death hadn't left her completely broken. In fact, her mother noticed Anna getting herself into one mess after another. She begged Anna to stop causing trouble. All those foolish boys who had fallen for her ended in disaster, just like Anna's brother. It turned out that Anna's mother had been aware of her daughter's relationship with her brother all along. She knew his feelings for Anna were incestuous, but she hadn't intervened in time. This inaction led to Anna's brother's suicide. Anna lashed out at her mother, blaming her for not stopping her brother's behavior. She held her mother responsible for his tragic end. Then, Anna went to her honeymoon hotel alone. She was left with a lonely, empty night. As she walked outside the hotel, suddenly, she spotted a familiar figure. William had learned everything from Anna's friends and rushed to the honeymoon hotel. When he saw Anna, all his grief seemed to vanish. He wanted to reconcile with her. At that moment, Anna was overwhelmed with regret. In the end, she made the choice to leave William. From that moment on, Anna embarked on a new life, and William was left to deal with the wreckage of his choices.